Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. You're looking absolutely amazing. And we're going to get straight into the meat and potatoes as we are talking about the Bryan Kohberger and the Idaho 4 case. Obviously, for a while, that has remained kind of the staple of this channel. We have ventured into Jay Slater, and we've spoken about the Jay Slater case at length. And it is something that, should the Jay Slater case at some point facilitate the need to discuss it some more, we will. But we do, over the next few days, we have a lot going on around the Idaho 4 case. We do have the change of venue hearing, and look, that's important. It's important because I feel at this stage that the prosecution has failed to prove not only that Bryan Kohberger did this crime, but they've failed to even prove that he deserves to be awaiting trial. Look, and I get it, because there's got to be a court hearing. Bryan's got to have his day in court, but ultimately we still have to step back and we have to look at what we, the public, have been given sort of, or been made privy to, and make a decision on where we stand at this time. You know, the court process, the legal process, should be transparent. You know, we're entrusting the system to protect us, to obtain justice for us. And I think about the Bryan Kohberger situation in the Idaho 4 case. I think up to present time, are we witnessing the wheels of motion going in the direction of justice or a political result, a result that offers resolution? And I can't work it out. And I feel that, bearing in mind the magnitude of this case, I feel that we should really be in a place where we should have a lot more confidence in the fact that the person that's being accused and about to go to court is indeed the person who deserves to be there. And again, I say that they have not proven that to me. And again, I get it. He's got to go through the process. But should we really be at this point in time and feel to ourselves that we haven't been shown enough, that the stuff that's in the PCA seems to be disjointed, it seems to be lies, it seems to be made up on speculation, and a lot of us have turned around and said, look, a lot of the evidence is circumstantial. But should it be circumstantial? If it's so clear cut that we have the guilt, as if you like, already out there and they're convicting this guy, should we be in a position where we're thinking, well, all of the evidence is circumstantial? We've got at least two people have stated that there is potentially evidence that is indicative of innocence of Bryan Kohberger. There could be things that prove that he wasn't the person who did it, and that comes in the form of exculpatory evidence potentially shown by Cy Ray in the bits that are missing, or Bethany Funk that was consistently blocked and could have actually been the catalyst to the grand jury indictment. Was that done purely to avoid a very, very big chance of humiliation if there had have been a preliminary hearing? Because I look at it and I'd look anybody and challenge anybody to truly answer me this. Do you believe, if what you have seen, whether you're a guilter or not, you're on the fence or you're highly in the Bryan is innocent camp, do you believe that if what you've seen is all that they had, if that was all they were going to take into a preliminary hearing, do you think that would have been enough to take forward to trial? Now, we know that with respect of the grand jury indictment, there was the argument of what is the standard that you have to meet in order to indict. And yes, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's not beyond a reasonable doubt it's possible, and that's enough. But it wouldn't have been enough for a preliminary hearing, I don't personally believe. So how can anybody who is at this stage able to say, no, I don't think so, I don't think if it would have gone to a preliminary hearing there'd have been enough, then how can anybody be satisfied with Bryan Kohberger sitting in there at this point in time? He's been in there for over a year, and the prosecution have failed to show anything that is concrete. And I know what people are going to say. They're going to talk about the knife sheath. The knife sheath is not concrete. It's not concrete. Whatever you think, it ain't. It is weak. It's there, and it's a hurdle, but it's weak. You know, the car, the Hyundai Elantra, we say this time and time again. It was, if anything, the FBI specialist confirmed that it wasn't Bryan Kohberger's. And we've got into this situation where it's become convoluted, and yeah, it's now Bryan Kohberger's, and the killer drove a white Hyundai Elantra because of the conditioning that you and I have gone through. But look, I try to do these videos, and I try to get people who are heavily in the Bryan Kohberger's guilty camp just to step back and take a moment to consider the possibility that Bryan Kohberger may still be innocent, regardless of what you think. And I've said this time and time again, those of you who have been around the channel for a while, you remember I always give a challenge, and that is to let me know down below what it is that makes you believe, if you believe, that Bryan Kohberger was the person who did this crime. He is the person. That's it. You believe that. But try to do that without giving me and feeding me stories that originated from Court TV or News Nation. Because these stories are stories. That's all they are. They are simply stories that are created to push a specific narrative. And the narrative that makes the most sense to mainstream media is that Bryan Kohberger is guilty as charged. They can't be seen to be offering the potential that Bryan Kohberger isn't the person who did this crime. They can't do it. They won't do it, because that's not what mainstream media does. They jump onto the most popular narrative, the thing that offers them the most clicks, if you like, clicks and views, and the potential for being contacted by the families and being able to do interviews with the families. How many interviews are the News Nation going to pick up if they are on the back foot and saying, well, we think that Bryan Kohberger might actually not be the person who did this? They're not going to get any fucking interviews, are they? They're not going to get there. But it is what it is. But I'm just asking people to think, with the change of venue coming up, it's literally not long away at all. Bryan deserves a fair shot. He does deserve a fair shot, regardless of anything. And I must say that I just don't think they've proven that he deserves to be there. And that's what I want to see. If he's the person who did it, for them to be able to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, not just for him to be convicted based on falsities. And it's just sad. Let me know down below what you think. I'll catch you all in the next one.